Those appointments were the officer's truncheon, handcuffs, and pocketbook. No stab vests, pepper spray, or tasers for them. Over the years, the service's military-style past had become so watered down it was almost non-existent. Modern-day officers slouched at desks, dressed in polo shirts and baseball caps as they waited for the harassed shift supervisors to issue them with their daily duties. Ronnie Harris had been a response sergeant for 11 years, an achievement in itself. Most fell foul of stress-related illnesses long before they reached anything like Ronnie's milestone. He slapped down a pile of papers on his desk and began to issue his meagre shift with their beats. As he came to Willis, he looked up. The young cop detected the merest flash of a smile from his sergeant as he announced, "Steve, as we have a full complement of response drivers this morning, find yourself some waterproofs, lad. Take Brookfield Foot Patrol, will you?" There were ripples of laughter from the rest of the cops in the room. One older salt shouted, "I've a big hat in me locker, Steve. Bet you've never worn the tit, have you?" Willis turned down his mouth and shook his head. "Striker," he muttered, "you old dog." The 33-year-old dog was sitting where he parked his bulk at 0600 hours most mornings, next to Daisy Warren. Daisy extracted data from the station's systems and issued all the relative departments with everything she considered germane to each. From the chief superintendent down, Daisy ensured each branch head knew what was going on in the division. She delivered a summary of all the salient overnight crimes and incidents, together with a copy of the collator's bulletin to each office. However, not to Striker's. For a start, no one other than the 3 detectives working from the recently formed Serial Crimes Unit could gain access to the room, as the door was always locked. And secondly, the firewalls installed on the computers used by the team ensured that nothing could be received electronically without their express permission. Moreover, Striker insisted on reading each and every sordid event in the previous 12 hours of Preston's criminal history himself. Daisy was a jolly woman, bordering on clinical obesity. She had worked for Lancashire County for 27 years, knew all the tricks of the trade and probably more about the city's criminal population than most cops. Striker not only liked Daisy, but valued her wealth of knowledge. "You're determined to do me out of a job, aren't you, Striker?" she said, pointing a packet of chocolate digestives his way. Striker held up a hand as he perused the screen. "Not at all, Daisy. You know my opinion on summaries. They're just that, so they are. A brief statement or account of the main points of something. And that's no good to a man like me who loves a fine detail. Anyway, it's your company that draws me to this place each morning." "Have a biscuit," said Daisy, blushing at Striker's compliment. "I will not. How many times have I told you? Carbs are the enemy." Daisy waved the pack ever closer, a twinkle in her eye. "Oh, come on now, Striker. A big strong fella like you needs a bit of something to grab hold of at night. These skinny minis are no good to a strapping bloke like yourself." Striker broke into a rare smile. It wasn't that he was a dour man, it was just when he did allow himself the odd expression of mirth, he gave the impression of being ever so slightly insane. "Who I choose to grab in the wee small hours is none of your business, Miss Warren." He tapped the screen with a thick finger and gratefully changed the subject. "This has just come in, I see. This missing cat." Daisy twisted her seat. She faced the bull of a detective with a knowing grin. "So, is this why you ignore my summaries, deny me my moment of glory each day, so you can follow the plight of the city's missing felines? I didn't have you down as a cat lover, Striker." "I'm not, although I recently acquired 2 of the hairy beasts." Genuine sadness fell across Daisy's face. "Oh, yes, Maureen's pair. So sad. It was ever so kind of you." The team had lost Detective Maureen Simons during a recent major investigation. She had been murdered by a local prostitute, Ruby Ward. Striker had adopted Maureen's 2 cats,